Okay, y'all, I just got out of Publix. Of course, I would start cooking and be missing a whole bunch of shit. So now, oh, I look crazy. Whew. So now we just finna head back to the house and whip all this stuff up. So, bye. So look, I got a new recipe for y'all, but y'all can't tell nobody. This is between me and you. Me and you. Not me, you, and your mama. Me and you. So listen up closely, because it's the best dish you ever make in your life. All right. So I'm finna show y'all how to make some Jamaican brown stewed chicken. I do add more brown sugar than the authentic recipe calls for, so talk about it with your mama, because I don't care. So first off, we're gonna start with our cornbread, because it does take a little while to make, and you do want it to cool off so that way it doesn't fall apart when you're cutting it up to serve. So I use the Honey Jiffy cornbread. And all you need for this is a 1/3 cup of milk and an egg and a mixing bowl, of course. So the trick with your cornbread is you want to get all the lumps out of it, because that's what will cause it to fall apart whenever you take it out of the pan. Also, if it's too warm, you want it to almost be damn near cold. But yeah, so we're going to start off with our cornbread. So just add your milk and your egg to your cornbread mix, and then you're gonna mix it on up. And with my cornbread, whatever it says on the box, I literally add 5 more minutes to that time, because it's never done. And the way that you'll know if your cornbread is done or not is because it'll be golden brown on the outside, and then you can take a toothpick, or if you don't have that, you could just take a fork and stab it in the middle, and when you bring it out, it should have no batter on it. It should be dry. So that's how you know when your cornbread is done or not. Y'all, I will say this dish right here will add a few pounds, but baby, this is so good. It's 10 out of 10. It's so delicious. I go to a few spots to get this if I don't feel like cooking it, and obviously that's the authentic recipe, so you ain't finna beat that. But this is pretty damn close, and it is so good. But you can go to Golden Crust. They have them all over Orlando. And then you can also go to Negril, which is a Jamaican cuisine, and everything is authentic. It is so good. If you haven't tried it, try it. So also with your cornbread, always remember, the darker the pan, the darker your cornbread is going to be. So I always try to bake mine in like this light gray baking pan, and then also make sure that you butter the bottom of your pan, because it will not fall out. All right. So I got a rotisserie chicken. I normally don't do that, but I wasn't going to stay in here for 5 hours. So here we go with our shredded rotisserie chicken. We're just putting that into our pot. Now we are going to add some butter and some brown sugar, because if you didn't know, that's how you get the browned skin on your Caribbean chicken for brown stew. So if you want to do it the right way, you're going to get some chicken tenderloins, or you could get some chicken breasts, chicken thighs of your choice. It doesn't matter. You're going to put a little bit of oil in the pot and about 3 tablespoons of butter. And then you're going to put a whole bunch of cinnamon on it. And then, not brown sugar, I'm sorry, cinnamon. And then you're just going to brown it. And then make sure it's done thoroughly, but you do want like a rough textured skin on the outside of your chicken. So that's how you do it if you do it the non-lazy way. But we're being lazy today, ain't got time for all of that. So yeah. And correction, while we're looking at my dirty ass stove that needs to be clean, I did not mean to say brown sugar. Brown sugar will be in this recipe, but you season and brown your chicken with cinnamon, not brown sugar. So sorry about that. Take back. You're going to season your chicken with cinnamon, not the brown sugar. All right, let's continue. So now that our chicken is out of the way, you're going to use the same pot. Do not wash it out. It's going to look a lot more juicier than this if you actually made your chicken, but I did not. So now we're just going to take a good helping of butter, And you want it to melt just a little bit, but you still want to see the clump of butter in there. So just let it melt a little bit. And now we are going to put our diced sweet onions in there. We're also going to go in with this tri-pepper mix. So it's got the green peppers, red peppers, and then I want to say green onions in here as well. But we're just going to put all that in there. And you can add a little bit of salt and pepper to this, but that's not what this dish is all about. If you just love those two seasonings right there, go for it. But we're going to season this with sazon, and some brown sugar. So those are the main two seasonings that you're going to need for this dish. Again, the authentic version of this dish is more salty and spicy, okay? But I like mine a little more sweet. So again, this is my version. This is not the authentic recipe, but it's pretty damn close to it, okay? You don't gotta eat it. Just remember that. You don't gotta eat this. But anyways, so add your seasonings. I did add some garlic salt and some thyme. You do need thyme. I'm not getting the fresh ground stuff, so go ahead and go to that seasoning aisle for $1.92 in Walmart and get you some ground thyme. Thyme, what the fuck ever. So now that those are starting to cook up a little bit, you only want them to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. You don't want them too mushy. You just want them translucent. So here I go playing with the camera. Should have edited that out, but we don't have time for that. One thing you'll learn about me is this is just raw and unedited. I don't have time for all that picture perfect stuff. I want to share my recipes with you guys. Y'all might not think I could cook. A chef might not think I could cook, but I think I could cook, and I think it's pretty good, and so does my family. So I just want to share all my recipes with you guys, and maybe I'll help somebody that doesn't know how to make certain things, or is maybe afraid to get in the kitchen, and you're like in a fresh relationship, or you know, you're a new mom or something. So yeah, girl, put on that cape and get in that kitchen. So now we're gonna add some garlic salt, because we like the garlic and that salt for them swollen ankles. Yep. So now we're just gonna mix that all around, y'all. And if y'all have ever done a voiceover, sometimes it's so hard to sit here and be like, let me wait until the next scene and I know what to say. So that's why I just be rambling on sometimes. So now we're just going to put however much your little heart desires of flour on top of that. And the point of this is to get all the flour to thicken and crumble on your veggies. So that way, whenever we add our chicken broth, it's not just sitting there floating, and it has its own texture. You'll see. So we could do a little more flour in this. Just do your thing. Keep mixing. But this is definitely a dish that you can just sit there and devour. This is definitely comfort food. You could just be chilling in bed. I don't know if you eat in your bed. I'll eat in mine if there's a good enough movie on. But go about your business. We're going to ignore this stove. I just want all y'all that like to hop in these comments to remember that it gets clean before and after. I can't do nothing about it during. I'm not doing all that. So now we finna take these seasoned honey carrots. You want the honey ones, okay? And make sure to get the top of that can up out your food so you ain't slicing nobody's throat up. But yeah, we're gonna use 2 of those cans. I normally add in some stewed tomatoes as well, but I think I forgot that in this recipe. I can't remember. But yeah, we'll see. So the carrots and stewed tomatoes is what you would be adding, but I definitely forgot the stewed tomatoes. But that's all right. If you only have carrots in your pantry, you can do without. It's not gonna make or break you, I promise. So now I'm over here in the corner trying to open the other can. I should have had this ready. Y'all, this is the one thing that I feel like, having all my stuff ready to go for these videos, because then I got to stop, do this, that, and the other. And it just be so time consuming. So then here I am 3 hours later and I'm still recording this video. Anyways, let's add in our second can of carrots. So this is how you can do this. You can either do 2 cans of carrots and 1 can of stewed tomatoes and make a really big pot. Or you can make a normal sized pot and add 1 can of carrots and 1 stewed tomatoes. Or you could be like me and just add double carrots. So now here comes our brown sugar, because this is where our flavor is really gonna come from while it's cooking into those veggies. Y'all, I can't tell you, do not skip this step. Do not, even if you're making it the authentic way and you want yours more spicy, you add that brown sugar. Add the brown sugar. Don't be afraid of the brown sugar. Add the brown sugar. Stir it on in, stir it on in. Anyway, so we're just going to let that start to cook up for a little bit. And now we're going to add in some more brown sugar and stir that in around. And as you see, it's starting to make our gravy. It's starting to make the gravy. It's starting to thicken up. And this is what you want. So don't miss any of these steps because they're really important. You really need them. I eyeball everything. I don't really give y'all measurements. So this is probably about a half. I wouldn't say half a cup. I would say half a container of chicken broth. And then I added my Sazon in as well, because I want you to remember that the butter, the juices from the veggies, my son is in the background going off, as y'all, every mother feels me when I'm sitting here trying not to lose my motherfucking shit. Okay, back to this. Yeah, so now we're going to add in this browning seasoning. Unless you want it to look like the witch herself stuck her big toe in this motherfucker, don't add too much of the browning sauce, because it will easily turn black. But we want that nice brown look. We want that nice brown color. You want it to be like gravy again. But this is more of a runny, consistent gravy instead of thick. So, ooh, look at that. Y'all see all them colors in there. I added my chicken. I threw my chicken in there. And now it's just time to let this thing do its thing. I let mine boil on medium for probably about 15 minutes. If your oven gets too hot, listen, if your oven gets too hot, put it on low. Because you will open the lid and everything will be gone except your veggies, and you'll be like, what the hell? So, that mac and cheese I just showed you, that was a 1-pan mac and cheese. Well, y'all, now it's in a 2nd pan. But to begin with, it was just a 1-pan mac and cheese. And I made that super, super quick. If you want the recipe on that mac and cheese, let me know, because it was so simple. Do I go all out on Sundays and things like that and make, a holy meal with grade A mac and cheese? Of course. But this is the quick way to go. And it's not far behind it, y'all. Still juicy. Still gets the job done. So now we're just going to put that in the oven. Let the cheese melt on top of that. This is pretty much ready to go. So now I'm going to turn it on low. I probably should have stopped recording here so y'all didn't have to watch all this and hear my ass talk, but here we are. Bless you. But here we are. All right, y'all, that cornbread has cooled off. Look at my cornbread. I know y'all see a girl. So if you do not make cornbread, listen, to get it out of that pan, you're going to need a butter knife, and you're going to go all around the lines of your pan. And when you do that, you're going to gently lift the bottom with it. Gently lift the bottom of your cornbread with it, right? So then what you're going to do is put your hand on top of your cornbread with one hand, right? And then with the other hand, you're going to flip it over. So that way it's going to fall out into one of your hands and you're going to be holding it. And that's how you get your cornbread out. Do not try to do this when it is hot. If you're like the OGs and you do it in a skillet, do not touch the pan when it is hot, y'all. These ain't no reset button. You're gonna be scarred for life. But anyways, so now we're going to plate everything. I don't know about y'all, but I'm greedy, so we got to put this cornbread on the bottom. The mac and cheese got to go on the bottom, so that way I could just pour everything on the top, and I'm getting all the flavors, all the bites, all the seasonings, all the tastes in one forkful. And I know y'all see my cheesing. I know y'all see and I did this in 5 minutes. Can you make your mac and cheese look like that in 5 minutes? No. And it's not no craft. So when you be coming for me in these comments, please remember that. And talk to your mama about it, because you don't have to eat my food. You don't even have to watch this video. You didn't have to get this far. So if you don't like what you're seeing, that's on you, baby. You was impressed for somehow, some way or another. But anyways, yeah, y'all, my mouth is watering just by looking at this. And I made this about 3 nights ago, and I'm ready to go to the store and go get everything I need to make it again, because it was just chef's kiss. And ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived to the Caribbean islands, where you will be greeted by a white woman that thinks she can make all this food. Please be careful with your steps. All right, y'all, bro, this was so good. I hope y'all enjoy. Mwah.